get into those. So, Sakina, let's talk about it. What's topping the trending list this morning? First up, Pan-African Parliament again.
Indeed, again. And we have the story in the news as well. And once again, they were unable to get on with the business of either election or, getting to the rotational leadership situation. Advice sought by the some members and of the Secretariat and the AU giving their particular view on this particular matter, but not being accepted by some of the members of the Pan-African Parliament. So it has now been postponed, as it were, until later in the year, October, I think it is. But Malema also trending, and this is because of him being pushed around yesterday, pushed off the podium, as it were, at the Pan-African Parliament by one of the female members of the Parliament. And that really got South Africa talking. And they were basically saying, well, we talk about gender-based violence. If that was a man doing that to a woman, we would not hear the end of it. And here was a woman pushing Julius Malema, and nobody is saying anything about that. So it just continues. It goes on and on at the Pan-African Parliament. But interestingly, people also saying, so what exactly does the Pan-African Parliament do? Because they've been thrust into the spotlight because of all the chaos of late. Starting this week, but last week they were supposed to vote last week already, and at the opening, just after the opening session, they didn't because of a case of COVID-19. Then it was moved to this week, and we've seen the chaos that has erupted. But people basically saying, firstly, we don't even seem to know what this body does.
Exactly. Can you give us a liner?
Can we?
Give us a one-liner. What do they do?
Well, they are supposed to have some legislative oversight input into some of the work of the overall AU. That's what they're supposed to do. It's a parliament. They're supposed to be complementary to the mother body in that regard. This is an African parliament, as it were. But it is fair to say that not much is said, done, and maybe covered around the work of the Pan-African Parliament. So people are asking now, since we've been seeing all this chaos. Exactly,
because this is what people are saying. Well, maybe show us some concrete things of what is the point of it and what do they come out of it. So that's what everyone's asking, and that's the big talking point still. And this is obviously with all these visuals coming out, which are not good visuals. All right, so quickly on to the next one, ANC, NEC. This is an interesting one. So here's another one of those that just kind of gets you thinking. So the DA say that it has an interest in attending the ANC's next National Executive Committee meeting, at least according to its shadow minister, Jordan Hill-Lewis. So he wants to do that, Shadow Minister of Finance. The ANC NEC is the...
But is this a joke?
No, this is a serious story. So he's saying... This basically came after a National Treasurer General Director, Dondo Mokojane, apparently attended an NEC meeting in January this year, a move that the DA said was unacceptable. So when the DA probed why this had been the case in the parliamentary question, Finance Minister Tito Mboweni confirmed Mokojane's appearance and argued that the DG attended the meeting in his private capacity. So now Hill-Lewis says that that's not accurate, and if he can go, I want to come. So it's serious. It is. This is what's going on. So
I'm not laughing.
No. So Hill-Lewis just quoted as saying, if senior state officials can attend these meetings in their private capacity, then presumably the meetings are open to others in their private capacities too. In that regard, I'd be delighted to attend the next NEC meeting in my private capacity to make some remarks on the topic of economic policy.
Can I attend all political parties' top executive meetings?
So as you can imagine, that got the Twitterati going crazy.
And of course, load shedding.
Oh, yeah. And that's
we're back at it.
10 o'clock this morning up
until Friday.
Friday evening.
Yeah.
It's time. Eskom.
Brace yourself, South Africa. So those are the trending topics for this morning. It brings us neatly up to 7 a.m. And we'll be bringing the Gauteng MEC for Sports, Arts, Culture, Recreation, or a spokesperson. We are negotiating. We're trying to get them, hopefully, before the end of the show, so that they can give us some clarity on this money that we are told was spent on service providers. So hopefully we'll get them. But right now, let's bring you the latest news at 7.